Live. Good morning. Welcome, MMALC family. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sula Haska, and I'm one of the case managers at Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center. And my associate.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rafia Mustafa, and I'm the assessment coordinator here at Mid-Manhattan. Many of you may not have ever met me before, but I'm sure you've seen an email from me by now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So first things first, what we'd love for you to do is in the chat box, please place your first name, your last name, and your teacher's name. This way you get credit for your attendance and we get credit for your attendance. Do that now, please. I'm looking to see if I see any names here. Okay, start putting that in. Your first name, your last name, and your teacher's name. Every time you come to a podcast, the school gets credit for you. We get extra points. So that's why it's important to put that information in the chat box. In addition, please do not place nicknames. No DJ Jiggy. We've had that. DJ Jiggy. Because what happens is we have to put your names, we have to send all of your names to the data office. If we don't have your real name, the name that you use on documents or in your classroom or in when you register, we can't get credit for you. Okay, so that's why it's important. And you see Carlos Rosas has put a little ticker tape on the bottom. We would also like to introduce to you our engineer for the podcast and also our podcast creator, Carlos Rosas. He's another case manager, and he's actually in person at Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center. Carlos.
Hey.
There he is, wearing his mask, being very careful. Thank you, Carlos. Carlos is the mastermind behind all of this. Thanks, Carlos. So, have you all put your information in the chat box? Okay, good. Today we want to give you ladies, because this is a podcast for our ladies. Okay, we want to give you information about a special event that is going to occur on May 21st from 12:45 to 4 p.m. It's only for the ladies, all the single ladies, all the married ladies, all the special ladies. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh,
So we're special. And that's why this is going to be special, because this has never been offered before. And it's all the ladies who are part of MMALC family and community. We want to make sure that you take advantage of this special opportunity. Ms. Mustafa, would you like to add to that?
Yes, I just wanted to say, many of you have so many great ideas and you share your ideas in your classrooms, but now this is an opportunity to visit with a larger community. So not just inside of your one classroom, but you'll get to be with students that are also in person, students that are remote. It's all going to be on the internet. So no matter where you are, you can log in from your phone, from your computer, and it will give you an opportunity to fellowship and collaborate and hear from wonderful women. There's going to be different workshops that you can choose from. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of Circle of Sisters. That's something that pre-pandemic they would give each year at the Jacob Javits Center. A huge, you know, the Jacob Javits Center is a huge auditorium, and you would walk through and it was nothing but women, nothing but females. They would be have books and clothing and jewelry and speakers, and it was all women inspiring women. So now District 79 is doing something similar, but it's free. You know, Circle of Sisters, you had to buy a $50 ticket or something like that, which was wonderful, but this is free from the comfort of your home. So this is really nice. This is the first time it's being offered, and we hope that it will be offered again, but they need students to participate. If you don't participate, they think you're not interested, and so then they don't offer it again. So we need everyone's participation.
Absolutely. The Access Citywide team is organizing this event. You know, the mission of Access Schools and Programs is to empower students through your gaining skills associated to each of your goals for college, career, and community. This event, as Ms. Mustafa said, is for women by women. It's a symposium called Sisters Inspiring Sisters. Right, Ms. Mustafa?
Yes.
So what do we mean when we say Sisters Inspiring Sisters? Ms. Mustafa, why don't you explain that one?
So in the Black and Brown community, when we say, oh, that's my sister, or even sometimes if you're from the Caribbean or somewhere else, you may say that's my homegirl, or if you know, that's just something that we use in our community. But this is open. When they say sisters, they're saying all women. We're all sisters, right?
Yes.
And this is coming on the heels of Women's History Month. So Women's History Month was in March, and now District 79 and Access, which is the big umbrella, is saying, listen, we want to do something for all of our female students. Not to say the male students are not important. Of course they are. But sometimes it's nice when females can have their own space to talk about things that are relevant to us. So that's what this symposium is. And it's, go ahead. What were you going to say, Ms. Haska?
You mentioned the word symposium. So what's the definition, right? What's the definition of symposium? Because we hear that word a lot, but what does that word really mean?
So it can mean a conference.
Yep.
It can mean a meeting, a convention, you know, a group of people coming together to share ideas. So sometimes they have a writing symposium where different people are coming together to write and share ideas that way. This is going to be a workshop symposium. So just meaning a meeting, a conference, a convention. Oh, look, and you see our tech, Mr. Rosas is good. He already put it on the bottom of the screen. So if you've never heard that vocabulary word before, or you've heard it, but you never took the time to actually look up the definition, now you know, and hopefully you can use it in your vocabulary moving forward. Okay?
Now, I bet you didn't think we were going to embed vocabulary in this podcast. It's important, right?
But see, vocabulary is all the time, all around us, all the time. So
you just have to pay attention, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I see that we have more students coming in. So tell them what they're supposed to do, Ms. Haska, as they arrive.
Well, thank you for reminding me. Please, students, my women, please put your first name, your last name, and your teacher's name. It's important to put your teacher's name next to your name, because if we can't read what you're typing, at least we can go to your teacher and say, do you have this student name, blah, 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 blah? And they will be able to recognize that name and give us the name so that you can get credit. When you place your attendance in the chat box, you get credit for attending this podcast, and we also get additional credit because you are attending this podcast. So please make sure you place your name, first name, last name, and teacher's name in the chat box. Please put your legal name, no nicknames. Okay? As I mentioned before, no DJ Diddy. Okay? Because it's been done before. So thank you, Miss Mustafa, for mentioning that. So the purpose of this symposium is to give information to our sisters, to empower our sisters, to inspire our sisters. And as Miss Mustafa mentioned, this symposium was inspired by the D79's Women's History Month event in March. They were so excited and impressed with what was done. They created this symposium. And it's going to begin with a keynote speaker, Chancellor Porter, who is an alumni from the Access Schools and Programs, as well as a woman leader in our community. So, as Ms. Mustafa mentioned, adult education is under the umbrella of D79, right? So that's why we all have a D79 email account, right?
Yes.
So, as Ms. Mustafa mentioned, the symposium, Sisters Inspiring Sisters, offers workshops to women by women. So, they are going to be women leaders from our community who will share their inspiring stories and their workshops geared specifically for women. You will have the opportunity to choose from a variety of workshops. So, workshops such as non-traditional jobs for women. Ms. Mustafa, what's non-traditional jobs for women?
So there was a time in our country, and not just in our country, around the world, but just speaking in our country, there was a time where women were thought to be teachers, nurses, maybe a secretary. That was considered, or just a homemaker. You were to be a wife and a homemaker, a wife and a mother. But things have changed, traditions have changed. And so something that might be considered non-traditional for a female might be a plumber, maybe non-traditional, at a time for a woman to be a police officer was considered unheard of. That was considered non-traditional. For a woman to even want to be a lawyer or to aspire to be a judge was considered non-traditional. But today, maybe even a technology job, many tech jobs are still male dominated. So there will be speakers to try to open women's eyes, right, to some of the jobs that you may think, maybe that field is not for me. No, these fields are wide open to every gender. Can you think, Ms. Hasker, that question caught me off guard.
No, that's perfect. That sometimes you'll pass a construction site and you see women.
Absolutely.
Right? Women are doing construction. Women are welding.
Absolutely.
They're working with metal. As Ms. Mustafa stated, they're doing non-traditional women jobs. And as she mentioned, the job market is open to everyone. Any gender, as long as you're qualified and you're trained, right? You need that training. You can't just say, oh, I want to be a construction worker and know nothing about, that field. So you need that training and that knowledge and education, which is really, really important. As look at Mr. Rosas, Carlos, non-traditional jobs for women, plumbers, police officers, lawyers, judges, yes. Computer techs, thank you, Carlos. So it's important that we know this, and this is what this symposium is going to expose you to. Another workshop is going to be health and wellness for women.
Absolutely.
Can you think of certain workshops that might be for women in that area, Miss Mustafa?
So absolutely, there are many health issues that affect the female community because our bodies are different. You
Yes.
know, unfortunately, breast cancer is still a leading cause of death because many women do not get yearly mammograms. And if you don't know what a mammogram is a test that takes less than 15 minutes that your doctor schedules you for after you reach a certain age. And it's like an x-ray for your breast. And they look to see, are there any lumps that may be cancerous? And it's a simple test, but many women don't get it. Maybe they don't know about it. Maybe they don't have a regular primary care physician that they see. Some of our students and just some women in general don't go to the doctor until they feel sick. So
Right.
this is another conversation. They want to talk about female health and wellness, the exams you should be getting, and about what schedule you should be having these exams. Okay, you've reached 35, time to get this exam. Oh, you're now 40. Okay, time to do this exam. And one thing, Ms. Haskell, what's great about going to these workshops, sometimes they open your eyes to things you've never even thought of, right?
Yes.
You hear things you've never thought of, and then you take that knowledge and you share that knowledge. So yes,
Absolutely.
right now, this symposium is only open to District 79 students. But you can then go home after and tell your sister, tell your cousins, tell your neighbors, oh, you know, I was in a leadership workshop today, and they said that, you know, now all you need are 24 credits to go on to do X, Y, and Z. You know, like when you come to this symposium, come with your notebook. I always come with a notebook. I always take notes because you never know what exactly. You never know what jewel. That's what my father always says. That's a jewel. Take that jewel. You never know what jewel you're going to get, right? You're going to hear these different jewels. So come prepared to write, come prepared to learn. So definitely women's health is high on the priority. That is very high.
Absolutely. And thank you for mentioning taking notes. That's so important. In addition, feel free to take pictures, right? You're going to see some things on the workshop, take a picture of it. I'm doing that all the time.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes information comes very quickly and I cannot write as quickly. So I just go bleep.
Absolutely. And sometimes English is not your first language.
Yes.
So sometimes you want to, okay, I'm going to take a picture of that. And later on, I'm going to go to Google Translate and I'm going to translate that word. What was that word? Symposium. What was that word? Mammogram. What was that? Colonoscopy. All those different words that you may have never heard before. It is okay to write it down, or as Ms. Haskell suggested, grab your phone and quickly take a picture, because later on you're going to Google that. You're going to look for the definition because it may be very familiar to you in your native language and you're just not familiar in English right now.
Right. Thank you so much. Another workshop that they're going to be offering is being or becoming an entrepreneur. Miss Mustafa, look, she's shaking her head. Explain that to them.
Okay. So first off, we need to understand what an entrepreneur is. And
the vocabulary word.
Yes, I believe Mr. Rosas is going to print that so we can see, because that's a word that's a little difficult to spell. So an entrepreneur is someone who is self-employed. They have their own business that they are able to generate income and employ themselves. So some people have their own 9-to-5 job. That's what we call, you know, a job where you work for someone else. They call that a 9-to-5, right? You work your 8-hour day. But sometimes, even though you have that 9-to-5, You may be doing a little something off to the side. You have dreams and aspirations to have your own business. They're going to give you keys and tools to become your own boss, to become an entrepreneur. So, for example, I have a 10-year-old daughter. My daughter just turned 10 recently. And she sits and she likes to braid her hair. Some of her friends say, "Oh, can you braid my hair?" I said, "Oh, wow, Asia, this is something you might be able to do in high school on the side, a little hair braiding, because then you can generate income, right? We want to have multiple streams of income. So what's wrong with finding a hobby that you are good at or something that you like and turning that into a career and becoming your own boss?"
Absolutely. So if those of you want to open up some business, want to become an entrepreneur, that might be a workshop that you attend, right?
Mhm.
Another workshop, they only gave me 4 because they're still compiling, they're still gathering all the names of their workshops. They
Mhm.
have a creative arts workshop. Ms. Mustafa, would you do us the honors? A creative arts workshop. What
So
could that be?
when I think of creative arts and artistic, maybe they mean creative writing.
Mhm.
Maybe they mean for artists who may be painters, or if you sculpt, if you draw. This is what I'm thinking when they say
Yes.
creative arts, as Miss Haskell said. And some of us now, because technology keeps growing and changing, some of us now are editors, technical editors. We edit videos, we create mini movies. These are all examples of creative arts because those are ways to be creative. So I'm not exactly sure how many different categories they're going to have, Miss Haskell,
Right. Right.
because as Miss Haskell said, we all together are going to fill out a little form where they're asking you what are some of your interests. And based on those interests, they're going to streamline the workshops that they offer. So
Right.
we're going to help them come up with workshops that would interest us.
That's
You know?
right. I think maybe this is a good time to register, pre-register.
Okay.
And what happens is when you complete the pre-registration form, uh, it's 8 questions that they ask.
Mm-hmm.
And once you send in the form, after the first week in May, you will get a response and they will supply you with all the workshops that they will offer. And then you could choose from the workshops. Okay, the symposium is from 12:45 till 4 o'clock on May 21st. So you will receive that information later on, a little closer, but save that date. We're going to also send a flyer to your teachers so that he or she can send that flyer to you so that you save that date, May 21st from 12:45 to 4 p.m. Okay, Mr. Rosas, can you please place the registration form in the chat box for us? Let's see. Miss Henderson put, "Good morning, sisters." Good morning. Okay, so let's do this. You'll see at the bottom of the chat box Carlos Rosas' name, and click into that link and it will open up. So do that now. Click into the link, open it up, and fill out that pre-registration form. Without that registration form, they do not know how many sisters want to attend this symposium and what workshops you're interested in. So the first thing they're asking is for your email address.
Could someone type in the chat if they have been successful in just opening the link? Do we know that it's successful? Because on my end, I'm unable to. Maybe AP Henderson Dupy, is she successful at opening it?
We're on the backstage link,
Yes,
so that's why we can't open it.
we
But
cannot.
Ms. Henderson Dupy, if you can let us know if you were successful, that would help us. So the first thing is place your email address. The second thing, it asks for your name, your real name. The third thing, they're going to ask your school name. Okay? Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center. The fourth thing they're going to ask you, and I'm going to give you this information, they ask for your school DBN number.
Mm.
I'm going to give you that to type in, okay? Here's the DBN number. It's 79, capital K, a big K, 755. That is the DBN number. 79, capital K, 755.
AP Henderson answered in the chat that she's able to open the link. So
Excellent. Thank you.
mm-hmm.
Excellent. The fifth question, they're asking, what is your current grade/program? You're going to click on adult education with my sisters. The sixth question, they're asking, why are you interested in this event? Think about why you are interested in this event. What are some reasons? To learn about the opportunities for women, to see what types of workshops that will be offered. So type in why you are interested in this event. Number 7 asks, it just states, tell us about one woman in your life who inspired you. For some of us, it's not just one woman. If we're surrounded by good sisters, there you go. I got my sister, Miss Mustafa, right there. My sister, my fellow Capricornian, because we're born 3 days apart.
That's right.
That's right.
So they're asking for one woman, but as Ms. Haskell said, in your mind, there may be so many women that come to mind that have helped you become who you are, that are inspiring you along the way. But just if you can briefly write about one person.
Okay. Take a couple of minutes and do that. And I am going to text Mr. Rosas the DBN number so he could scroll it on the screen for those who missed that. Okay. The last thing that they are asking, number 8, you have any questions, comments? Okay. I'm looking forward to this symposium, Ms. Mustafa. How about you?
So am I. I love gaining new information. I'm really looking forward to it. I love free opportunities to gain. There's so many great things, but they're expensive. And this is a free opportunity geared to us, being facilitated by other women. And, this is wonderful. The fact that the superintendent has decided this is something she would like to do, and she's putting energy and money into this.
Yes.
This is a wonderful opportunity. And for those of you may have other classmates or other people who were absent today. We're going to send the flyers to the teachers. Some of our in-person students maybe are still in class and are missing the podcast right now. We're going to send the flyers. We want full participation. Imagine, Ms. Hasker, if we could get every one of our female students to register.
Sister, how powerful.
That would be great.
Powerful this will be.
That would be so great.
To show them that School 5, Mid-Manhattan, MMALC, we got the power.
Absolutely. Let's say the date again, please. Sisters, Inspiring Sisters.
Okay. May 21.
May 21st.
From 12:45 till 4 p.m. There you go. Save the date. Mr. Rosas he's quick.
Exactly.
Carlos Rosas is not only our engineer and not only our case manager, one of the case managers, but he's the one who created this podcast. And every time I get on a podcast, I give him credit, because without Carlos Rosas, this would not exist. The podcast would not exist for us. He has those technical skills.
Ms. Haskell, this is my first podcast, so thank you to you and to Mr. Rosas for inviting me. I'm so used to Zoom, and Ms. Haskell said, no, we're going to do a podcast. I said, oh, how fancy, how professional. This is my first. So thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. Yeah. So sisters, in the chat box, if you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat box. Okay. I see Carlos put in the chat box, Kadia, who is your teacher? Kadia Jimenez. Put your name in again, and please put your teacher. Because if we need to find you, we need to go to your teacher. Okay.
And think about this. You come to Mid-Manhattan each day. And we appreciate you. Your teachers work hard. We are so excited to have you as one of our students. Some of your goals are to improve your English. Some of you have goals to improve your English, move on to basic education. Some of you are already in basic education and your goal is to earn your TAS, your HSC diploma. Some of you want to move on to the CNA program. We all have different goals, but we're just so excited that you took the time to come and find out, what is this about? Let me click on this link. Who is Miss Haskell? Who is Miss Mustafa? Let me see what they're talking about. Sisters, Inspiring Sisters. So if you're at home, give yourself a little round of applause for taking the time, 2 snaps, spirit fingers, everything, that you even took the time to come and find out. The first step in gaining the knowledge, you have to come on, right? You have to open the book. You have to click on the link. So thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Mustafa, for acknowledging our students and our teachers and our school, because it's so important to have what we have. We have a great community at Mid-Manhattan. We do. The teachers are wonderful. I love our students, administration and staff, wonderful. We have a great family. That's why I call it a family. We're a family. And as Ms. Mustafa said, if you don't, when they say knowledge is power, it's the truth. Once you gain a little bit of that knowledge, you go, oh, look what I learned at this symposium. Then it triggers other ideas for you to research.
Absolutely.
And then it just broadens your horizon and broadens your knowledge base so that you become, you grow. That's what knowledge is about, is to constantly grow in whatever area you are interested in and grow as a person.
And each one teach one. Don't keep it to yourself. Share the knowledge, please. I see in the chat, Ms. Haska, one of our students, Patricia, I was able to open the link and register. Yes. So
yes, excellent.
Yes, excellent. How many of you have already completed your registration?
We
So
can't
far,
see hands,
I see
but
one student.
I see Miss Dean is saying, powerful. We are a family. Yes, Miss Dean.
Absolutely.
Yes, Miss Dean.
Is that a picture of your class, Miss Dean? It looks like she has a picture of maybe her class or her
Oh,
students. Or maybe
Miss,
that's her own family. But we
you
at
know,
Manhattan, we are a family. So that's wonderful. This is our
doesn't that sound
extended
like a
family.
song?
Oh,
We
of
are
course.
family.
Yes.
I got all my
My
sisters with
sisters
me.
with me. Maybe that's going to
Yeah,
be the
yeah.
theme song. Maybe that'll be the theme song of the event. Maybe, right?
We should have started this podcast with that song.
Mm.
We are family. We are family.
But this is my first podcast. I didn't know we could have background music. So next
Well,
time.
well, we really can't because there's certain rules
Okay.
to using music.
Using, mm-hmm.
Let me just see if there are any questions. Any questions, everyone? Any questions? If you do have any questions, feel free to email me. And Mr. Rosas, would you do us the honors and put my email address on the bottom of the screen?
I see another student gave a thumbs up. They were able to
Right.
register. I see another student, Alessandra, is thanking us for this opportunity. Thank you for taking advantage of the opportunity,
Yes.
Alessandra. Thank
Yes.
you.
I see that Mr. Rosas put in the chat box, he's asking for, forgive me for mispronouncing this name, Johuratul Janaf. He's asking, who is your teacher? So if you look in the chat box and you see next to your name, you forgot to put your teacher's name, just go back in the chat box, put your name in again, first and last name, and place your teacher's name right after that. Because we need to make sure we give you credit.
Absolutely.
And if we don't have your teacher's name, then we have to search in the galaxy. And it becomes, there's a lot of dust in the galaxy. So it becomes, you know, an interesting task. Okay, any questions? You see my contact email right there, shaska@schools.nyc.gov. We don't have any questions. Let's see. Thanks so much for the opportunity for all of us, sister. That was Alessandra Costa. Oh, hi, Alexandra. Alexandra was actually in one of our podcasts. She's in Miss Iris Clark's class. The podcast, if any of you saw this, the cooking podcast with Maurice
Oh.
Held from Cornell University
Mhm.
Cooperative Extension. She was one of the chefs with me.
Oh.
So hello, Miss Costa. Okay.
Hi, Miss Williams. I see Miss Williams from Miss Bell's class. And this is what I was saying at the beginning. I have not met many of you, we have never met in person. But
Yes.
now I'm having the opportunity to see your name. I know we've emailed back and forth. Miss Williams, it's really nice to meet you. I wish I could see you in person. And I'm so happy you're a member of MMALC, that you came back to MMALC, and that you are going to achieve your goals. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Carlos, would you do us a favor and put the link, the registration link, in the chat box again? So for those of you who might have come in a little late and did not register for the symposium, please click on that link that Carlos Rosas just placed in the chat box. Click on that and answer those 8 questions so that you're pre-registering. All that information goes to Access. Once it goes to Access, they will see, oh, we have 40, 50, 60 women from mid-Manhattan who are interested in the symposium. the first week of May, they will then send you directly to your email. They will send you information about which workshops are available. And I would just look at those workshops and register so that you get your seat in whichever workshop that you desire. I don't know what the capacity of the workshops, the seating capacity is, how many people they accept in a workshop, but make sure you get your seat. Okay? All right. So make sure we're going to wait a couple of more seconds for those of you who are still registering. Make sure you place the correct name in that link.
I see more students saying that they were successful at registering. That's awesome.
Excellent. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. So do we have any questions? I see. I registered. Okay. Oh, here's a question. For all the students that pass, this is Miss Annette Williams, for all the students that pass HSE/GEG, GED, will there be a graduation ceremony or Zoom ceremony? They are working on that right now. It was mentioned, was that this morning?
It was this morning.
So we will let everyone know as soon as they complete everything. They're getting a committee together and there will be a ceremony. That's a good question.
Details to follow, but as Ms. Haskell said, there will definitely be a ceremony, but a committee is going to work out the details, exactly what that ceremony will entail.
Just wanted to know if I could jump in there for a minute, ladies, if this
Please.
is okay. There was talk earlier about non-traditional employment for women. This might be a good time to talk about co-op tech.
Oh, please.
Because we have, and a lot of students unfortunately don't know about this. You get your high school diploma, you get your GED, and that's all well and good. Now the question is, what do you do with it? And what we offer at Co-op Tech are a series of vocational classes. And believe it or not, we are under-enrolled when it comes to women. We offer classes like welding, electrical installation, building maintenance, auto mechanics. The list goes on and on. And we don't have enough women applicants. We don't have enough women students. And there's usually this stigma that's attached to it. A lot of women say, well, I don't know if I want that job because it's really for men. But I mean, these are really good paying jobs.
Yes,
absolutely.
And the female applicants, to be quite honest, they usually get, first preference, because we need more women participating in the class. Especially, this might be a good opportunity for those of you who may not want to go the college route. I have a daughter and I have a niece who in many ways is like a daughter, and I've encouraged them both to consider taking these classes in tandem with college. If they do choose to go to college, we're talking about really good paying jobs, and you could be some of the women who kind of lead the way, who blaze the trail for a lot of other applicants. Oh, look at that. We already have somebody saying, Patricia Patty, I want to do electrical installation.
excellent.
Great opportunity.
Woo.
You can do these classes through us and they are free. They are free.
Free.
So please take advantage. You get your high school diploma, that's great, but come out of here with as many credentials as you can, because it's just going to open up more opportunities. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to jump in and talk about that.
How would she apply for that, Mr. Rosas? If she said, I want to do electrical installation, what would be her next step?
Well, those classes are suspended until we go back to brick and mortar full time. The hope is that we'll be back up and running by September.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure that if the superintendent can get them running by the summer, he will. But it's important that you stay in touch with us. Definitely email me if you're interested in any of those classes so that I can put you on the email distribution list. And when we have more information in terms of when those classes are going to return, I can email you and let you know, okay, we're ready to start. Send me your information and I'll send you the registration link.
Could you put your email address and the ticket tape for them?
Yeah, I can do that.
Carlos is in charge of Co-op Tech, so he knows what's going on. And thank you so much for sharing that, Carlos, because that's important information for our students to have. That was a good point that you brought up. Once you get your high school diploma and you're on your way, you need to think about your next step. We will be having podcasts next month on college and career readiness. So when your teacher, we always send things to your teacher, and sometimes we'll do an email blast to let you know what workshops and podcasts we will be having. Speaking of podcasts, we have another podcast this Thursday, just to tout the podcast. NYPD is coming in to give a workshop on crime prevention and how to remain safe in the street, when you're going to the bank, when you are, when someone's knocking on your apartment door, when you're getting phone calls. So you'll be receiving that email and that notice from your teacher probably tomorrow. Okay? And look what time it is, Miss Mustafa. We did well. 12:01.
Excellent.
Excellent. Well,
Nice.
ladies, my sisters, we thank you. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for partaking in the symposium. Miss Mustafa, I thank you for being my sister, my Capricorn sister.
Same here. Same here. Thank you for letting me co-host this with you. This was my first podcast, everyone.
You
So
did great. Let's give her some snaps.
Yes.
Snaps.
Yeah. So this is great. So we keep learning new things for all of you. I see Patricia asked for Mr. Rose's email. Again, he is right here. C. Roses, right under us.
Take a picture.
.nyc.gov. Like Ms. Haskell said, take a picture. Now you've done step 1. You came to the podcast. You've completed step 2. You clicked on the link and you registered. Now step 3, you're going to have to come to the symposium. Okay, that's step 3. Show up at the symposium. When is the symposium, Ms. Haskell?
May 21st. May 21st, which is on, let me get my calendar, which is on a Friday from 12:45 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
There it is. Mr. Carlos put it right there on the screen.
Excellent.
So save that date, put it in your phone. We're going to see you then, because I would love your feedback afterwards. I would love to hear what you think about it and which workshop you attended. Because we can't attend all of them, because I would love to be able to, but we need your feedback. All right?
And the teachers will remind students. The teachers will post the flyers in the Google Classrooms. Mr. Roses is physically in the building. He'll post a flyer on the wall, in the building, on the stairs. We will post things, okay?
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms.
all.
Mustafa. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Ladies, sisters, women, bravo. We'll see you next time, okay? I love this. Women for women.
Exactly. Bye, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Have a great afternoon. Yes. Bye, Miss Sula. Have a great afternoon.
All right, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye. You as well. Bye, everyone.